This video will provide you with a little more information about plywood siding. And of course, I'm not talking about T1, 11 siding or grooved siding. This would be more for a flat surfaced siding, especially like a Plyson. I see this a lot, and I'm actually going to have a picture at the end of the video of some siding damage where this could actually be a quick fix for. Now, all you need to do is put a board over the groove, or the gap, I should say, not the groove, the joint where the plywood meets, and this would cover up the damage from the groove. Now, don't forget, plywood expands and contracts as it gets wet and absorbs moisture. It will actually put pressure up against these grooves. So it's not going to be uncommon to have a groove that is tight. And some of this plywood actually has some type of a shiplap joint. And we put it on tight so it looks good. The siding gets wet and it starts to expand and causes the siding to buckle. That's actually one of the problems you could have. So with this method here, you could probably give an eighth of an inch gap, something like that, where you would do with shear panel along the same thing, and then nail it in the same manner, and then leave a little space for the plywood to expand, and you wouldn't have to worry about this too much. But I've actually put the thin plywood on, the stuff that's it's just a little bit over 1/4 of an inch, I think. Plyson is what we referred to it as. I've actually put this stuff on, came back the next day, and it was buckled and ruined, and it just didn't look, it's just not the best product to use. I don't think I would use it for anything except for a wooden garage door. That would be it, and of course that would have to do with weight instead of the looks. Otherwise, I'd put a thicker piece of plywood on. Another thing you could always do is add more boards. So we would have just put them at every 4 foot. You could space them at every 2 foot, or even put another board in between there and space them at every foot. Now, this siding is often referred to as board and batten type siding if you actually see it. But if you install plywood, you are going to install it, this is probably going to be the best way to go. This way you're not going to see all of the buckles as the plywood starts to expand and contract. Now, here's a good picture of the plywood actually buckling, and it doesn't look too bad from a distance, but if this is something you needed to look at, it was going to be on, let's just say, a garage door or something, the siding on your home. You're going to be walking past it every day. This is actually on the top of a roof, but this is where it could be more obvious and it might not look as good. And I also thought about, is there a different type of paint you could use, maybe a different color? And I really couldn't think of, maybe you could paint something like this black and you wouldn't notice it as much, but I'm not going to speculate on that. You could always feel free to leave some comments in the comment area if you have further ideas on that. But anyway, this is a good example of the plywood buckling because of moisture, and this is not uncommon. So anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget to hit the old thumbs up button if you like what you see.